hear from Pop Turner speak to Shailyn Griffin about Thanksgiving, which is now available in theaters. One of the best slashers out there. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Petey Beats, what's going on? I'm so excited. I'm such a huge fan of you. I watch your interviews all the time, so this is such an honor to
Oh,
be on your.
thank you for saying that. It's really kind of you. Yeah, no, you like congrats. Like this has just been
Thank you. It's
crazy.
wild. It's wild.
I mean, it's one of those things too where, you film something and you play the waiting game and then people get to see it and there's all that kind of anticipation and chats with your family, friends and team about what people are going to think. And the reception's been incredible. Like what's that been like for you seeing that?
It's crazy. We just had such a great time filming it. Like,
Yeah.
we're all so close. We all genuinely loved to be there. Like, even on days when we weren't supposed to film, we'd all still go and just hang out because we just loved to do that. We loved the whole cast, the whole crew. So of course, you hope that people are going to respond in the same way and like it as much as you liked filming it. And the reviews have been absolutely fantastic. It's crazy. I've been getting messages from people all around the world saying that they, just watch the movie from Switzerland, just watch it in Brazil. And that's just wild. And to see so many people liking it as much as we loved filming it's so amazing. My heart is so filled. I'm so grateful. I couldn't be happier. It's amazing.
And the horror movie component, the slasher component, it's got the traditional kind of slasher element where someone in a small town is killing everyone for a reason. And like, I feel like I think of movies like where you know who the killer is, right? Like the Halloween with Mike Myers and Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. But then you have the who done it, like Scream component of like who is the killer. So you got like this two-headed monster. Do you think about that at all? It's almost like you worked on two movies in a way.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think it's like a 10-headed monster. Like, it's crazy.
It's also really funny too.
Well, yeah, it has something for everybody, and I think that's what's so exciting and what drew me to the movie right away. Also, I love that you don't necessarily have to love horrors to love this movie. I mean, I brought my nanny, my grandma, to go see the movie, and I was kind of nervous. Like, I didn't know how she was gonna take it because she doesn't.
Yeah, because like there's a scene involving your character that.
Yeah. And she absolutely loved it, and I was nervous because there's some scenes that I didn't know how she was gonna take it, but she loved it. The first thing she said when she walked out of the theater was, "Well, if that's what horrors are, I like them." And yeah, it's just great. I think there's something for everybody. It brings you through all of the emotions, and like you said, the murder mystery component is fantastic. I'm such a sucker for those, and that was just so cool. And I think the way it was filmed, you're constantly guessing and it could be so many different people. And that's what's so great about
John Carver is the next horror icon. Like
Johnny C. Johnny C.
I want to get into specific scenes and everything, but also kind of you said about like the reaction and everything. I've seen it in the theaters 3 times already, and the last time I went, it was funny because I went with my friend and he didn't see it yet and he really wanted to see it, he's dialed in the whole time, Shailyn. Like he's like this the whole time, like, and it's funny, right? Because I've seen it twice already, right? So I could like pay attention to him a little bit, right? And then the movie's done, the credits come on, Where Eagles Dare comes on by Misfits, right? And he looks at me and he says 10 out of fucking 10. But like that's like the best thing to hear, right? From someone who's worked on the movie. Like that's like that, there's no better feeling than that, right?
It's incredible. I mean, like I said, this was such an important movie for Eli as well. So,
Yes.
to be brought on to this movie and to be able to be a part of that was so amazing. And it's just so great to see that, people are liking it as much as, it's been such a long wait and people are really enjoying what we've created and oh my gosh, it's the best feeling in the world, like you said. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. It's amazing.
All right. So I'm gonna put in the description of the video spoiler alerts. We're talking about some stuff now. Okay,
Okay.
it's been out, right? So people.
I mean, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing?
What are you doing? All right. So here's the thing I think really cool. That's why I was super excited to chat with you about it. Even before I saw it, you read kind of like social, reactions online of the people that go see it the first couple of weeks. You know what I mean? And people mentioned, a lot of kind of kills stand out. One of the kills that really stood out to them innovation-wise, something they've never seen before, was the trampoline scene. And that's so cool because that's your scene.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know. It was so crazy. I've always said I wanted to do something like so wild in a movie. Like, I mean, I've always wanted to do a horror, but like something like this was so cool. And I couldn't wait to do it. I feel like I could go into the Olympics or something for trampoline now because I was on that thing for, I think, all together, we filmed the trampoline scene over like 4 days.
But did you know you were doing that stuff? Like you auditioned for this character, right? Like that scene's happening and everything, or is that like later on?
So actually, one of my audition scenes was the trampoline scene.
Okay.
So I had to like mimic that I was on the trampoline in the audition. Such weird stuff we do. But yeah, I had like a chair and I was on the chair and I pretended I went down like on the chair, but it was supposed to be the trampoline,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of my audition scenes and I was so excited to do it because I mean, it's so cool.
I can't look at I can't look at corn on the cob and I can't look at trampolines the same ever again.
Corn on the cob and trampolines. Never again. I've been getting so many messages that are like, you've ruined trampolines.
Well, no, it's like you ruined it, but I also, but like you can look at that as like a good thing too, because if I go to like Costco and I see a trampoline on sale, I'm going to think of Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes, exactly. I know. Who was it? One of my friends was going to like a trampoline park thing. And I was like, oh God, no, stay away. But you're right. It is what you think of now.
Yeah, we have one around here called Flying Squirrel. It's like one of these like trampoline parks. And
yeah. That's exactly what I thought of. John Carver's going to be there.
No, it's so good. I mean, okay, so a lot of effects come into play and everything, and there's like, the, fake blood and all that stuff. But like, does it feel scary? Because like what we see, might be different compared to what you filmed, right? You know what I mean? Because I've interviewed a lot of people that like can't do scary movies, but they've been acting in like the scariest movies they've ever seen. Because when they're doing those scenes, it doesn't feel as scary because they don't see what's happening. But did it feel scary filming this scene?
You know what? It really did. Okay. Every single scene I did, Eli really made the set real. I mean, like every single scene, it was genuinely like you were in that. It was freaking scary. Like, I mean, watching the movie and filming it was intense. Like it was crazy. And the opening scene, going to the opening scene, I mean, there were like 1,000 extras there for that day. So that was crazy. I mean, everything was just done so much to scale. And yeah, it definitely was scary filming it. I mean, it was just a freaking trampoline in the middle of this big gym and it's all dark and you know what's gonna happen. Like, that's scary, right? So yeah, definitely filming it was pretty crazy, and watching it was even crazier. I remember I was in LA a couple of weeks ago watching the movie for the first time with everybody, the whole cast. And I was sitting beside Gabe, who plays Scuba, and Joe, who plays McCarty, and we were watching it, and there was this one scene that scared the crap out of us, and Gabe like jumps out of his seat, and I'm like, dude, you're in it. What are you scared about? Like, you're in this. You knew this was coming. But yeah, it was crazy. It was so funny.
Okay, so one of the biggest scenes, I think one of my favorite things about this movie is how the movie starts, and we see, your character and Mika and everything, and the store and the mob and all that. That's like one of the best thing ever. Talk about starting a movie on like a, okay, I'm invested note, right? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think there's a better way to start the movie. I mean, that was a wild scene. And that was like a 15-minute opening
But
sequence.
even before
Like,
you all go in, like when you're waiting outside, right, where you and Mika are screaming at them to get in, like that whole scene is so cinematic, right?
it's amazing. I love that. I think that's my favorite scene out of the entire movie. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so well done and there's so much going on and it's funny and yeah, I mean, it's also very scary once, things start going down in the store and yeah, I mean, what a way to start a movie, like you said, that just crazy. I
And
mean, but what
everyone
else
was
do we
there, right?
expect from Eli?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
everyone was
everyone
there,
was there.
right? Yeah, it's one of those situations, right? Where like maybe you don't run
Exactly.
into everyone, but you know everyone's around, kind of, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was a great way to really introduce the characters as well because everybody's personality definitely came out in that scene.
Oh,
Yeah, it was wild.
oh, so good. I can't wait to watch it again. I want to go see. I want to go see it again right now. Now I'm doing these interviews. I'm like, I want to go see it again.
Honestly, I'm on my 5th time watching it and it gets better every time.
And
It really does. I love
the
it.
cat is out of the bag too. I mean, there's going to be a Thanksgiving too. I mean, that's the coolest thing, right? You work on a movie and then like so quick it gets announced for a second one. Like that's like the coolest thing, right?
That's another thing that, like I said, it's so great seeing, these reviews and the comments and what people are saying and the messages we're getting. And when you get a second one, that really just kind of solidifies it too, that yes, people are really loving it. And that's just great. I mean, like I said, we had the best time filming it, and it's so wonderful to see that everybody else is loving it as well.
And just a general kind of question for wrap up, just about kind of acting and your career so far as well. In terms of kind of like it's all storytelling, but I'm sure there's a mindset change depending on what the genre is, or like depending on what the character is and anything. Do you have that mindset where you're able to kind of take experiences from certain projects, like for example, from Thanksgiving, if you then book like a comedy or a rom-com or something, are you able to take kind of mindsets and preparation from a movie like Thanksgiving to that, or does it depend on the project?
Absolutely. One thing that really stood out to me from this project is Eli was really, really big on improv.
Yes.
And that's always been something that I have been terrified of doing. I've been
Mm.
so scared of doing improv. And then, just being thrown into that to that environment where you have to just go with what you think your character would say and work off your scene partners and things like that. That was intense for me, but I learned so much doing it, and I really feel comfortable doing it now because I love the way the movie turned out. I love the way the scenes turned out, and a lot of it was improv. So now I think, being able to take that and feeling comfortable doing that is definitely going to translate into future work because, improv is so important in this art. And yeah, to be comfortable doing that and not have that fear of having to do improv now, I think that's going to help tremendously for future
I
things.
feel like you did like a 2-for-1 because usually another question I ask is like, what were learning experiences on projects? Because no matter if you've been on a set one time, Shailyn, or 1,000 times, you're always going to learn something different. So
Exactly.
you learning improv on things like that's pretty cool. I like that. Actually, that's awesome.
It was great. Yeah. And I think Eli was just, he's brilliant behind the camera, but he's also brilliant in front of the camera. And
Yep.
I think that's so special to have as a director as well.
Mm.
You know what it's like to be in the shoes of the actors because Eli's obviously an actor himself too.
Yeah.
So, he kind of knew what it was like to, be on that side of things. And he knew what he wanted and he knew how to get it out of us because he does both sides.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, you just learn so much from every single time you step on a set, no matter who it is, no matter who you're with, you're constantly learning and that's just great.
Absolutely. And Thanksgiving's in theaters, so if they haven't seen it already, they'll go see it again and again. And I'm so happy for you and the cast and everyone. Shailyn, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. I had the best time chatting with you.
Your Instagram account is the best way where people keep up to date with everything. Is it just your name?
Yes, it's Shailyn_Griffin.
Awesome. Well, this has been Pop Turn at youtube.com/PopTurn for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Shailyn Griffin and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.